It is the RIOT podcast. Whee!
Yay! Podcast time. Whee! Little applause.
Thank you. Thank
Yay.
you. Thank you. All right, thank you. So here's what's happening today. We do talk Godzilla just a bit. Then we talk about how you could have your very own Louvre experience at home.
I think it's more about the take a big bread.
Yeah, when you really listen to it, it's really us talking about bread.
It's about that. And if you're like, I think I want to look at some art, then there's also that option too.
We get into some breakfast cereals. How excited I'm starting to get about the vaccination process.
That's tomorrow for you.
Cameo.
We talk a lot about Cameo.
Yeah, that's a big chunk there.
That's the celebrity program where you can get a video from the celebrity of your dreams for a small price.
Snowpiercer, Xbox headphones, store trips and pants, world records. I mean, it's a well-rounded podcast.
I think so.
So we hope that you guys enjoy it as much as listening as we did putting it together.
So if you've never texted us before, you might have heard us mention it, but we really would love to hear from you. So text us if it's especially your first time. You text 877 to RadioU and put that you're a podcast listener, and make sure to include your name in case you ever come up with a story, or if you want to say, hello, or if you want us to say hello to you in the podcast, text us today.
It's only $1,000, and we'll get that right to you.
Our Cameo stuff is free anytime.
How am I supposed to monetize anything?
I'm sorry. It's too late. We can't monetize that.
Man, I'd be lucky if I could get a quarter. So, you know what? We'll just make it free.
It's on us.
Yeah.
We actually really just enjoyed talking with you guys.
So you guys have a fantastic day. Enjoy the podcast.
Thank you for listening, as always.
Bye.
RIOT Podcast, RadioU.
Man, I can't believe that we started the show and I haven't even mentioned it yet, but today is Godzilla versus Kong Day.
Why are we even here? Why are we just watching it?
I know.
Can we just have an on-radio watch party?
I can't believe that it's going to happen today, and I'm not going to watch it today.
Well, don't say no completely. Like, what if something happens? What if something gets, rescheduled?
You never know, right? You never know. So as of right now, it's still sitting at 80% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's a pretty good score.
It is. Now, I mean, that number's going to go down because that's what they do.
Man, I'm just hearing negative over there.
No, that's just the way that
it averages out.
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes will come down a little bit on that score. But, dude, every review from, the people that I care about that have watched it, they're just like, oh, it's so good.
Oh, they like it?
They
good.
love it.
I feel like I really want a good movie right now.
Well, I'm hoping that
I don't need a great movie. I just need a really good movie.
Yeah, well, Billy says he just texted, and you can too, 877 to RadioU. He says, Obadiah, it's Godzilla versus Kong Day. Let's go.
You guys are so excited.
Who you got? Before they realize they need to put their differences aside and take down King Ghidorah. Well, I feel like this movie's going to be complicated. Mm-hmm. And, a lot of great relationships start that way.
True.
It's will they, won't they? And then they've got to, deal with that. And
relationships are hard.
It's complicated. It is. So I don't give much of a rip about old King Kong. I'm not going to lie to you.
He's a Godzilla fan all the time.
I mean, the only thing that gives Kong any credence is he's been around longer, but what? They show up and remake his movie every couple of years. It's 4 hours long.
Isn't that the same thing you can say about Godzilla?
No.
No.
He gets lots of movies.
Okay. He gets more and more often.
Let's take a look at how often Godzilla's, take it out for a spin.
That's true.
So, and, maybe you argue that just makes Kong more special. I don't know.
Well, no, I feel like Godzilla has more of an active franchise, so.
It's true.
It does more.
Hey, I will say Kong Skull Island I thought was pretty good. And that Peter Jackson King Kong from 20 years ago, I mean, grab a pillow and
settle in for a long nap.
For the story of a woman in love with an ape. It's weird.
Yeah, but that's the one guy, and he just can't cut things down, so.
It is.
It's just how it happens.
It is. So, yep, today's the day. I am pumped.
Well, thanks for texting, Billy. And for others, the second you watch Godzilla, just let us know what you think of it.
Yeah, I really do want to know. And I can't wait, dude. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to watch it. And by can't wait, I mean I'll wait until tomorrow.
The RIOT isn't all bad, but this is the worst of the RIOT. RadioU.
I know that you're upset that your trip to France got canceled. And I mean, it was going to be the most magical.
Yes.
I mean, it just was.
Love, adventure.
There was going to be art. There was going to be baguettes.
Actually, that does sound nice.
It does sound.
But you can't go.
So, you know what? We're going to help you recreate your trip to France. It'll be just like the real thing. First off, stop at the grocery store, get a take and bake.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
That's a piece of bread that's like, or a baguette of bread that's like half baked.
It's the long one.
So you take it home, you bake it in the oven, and it's just like it's fresh. Then you turn on some wee wee ha ha music, if you have any, which I don't. I should have, but I don't. And then you just hop online because the Louvre has just announced that they are putting its entire collection online for free.
So you can take a virtual tour of
Essentially,
all the art?
yes. You can just go in and you know what? I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but I find that looking at things online is exactly like being there.
Okay, well, first, it didn't mean that we were going to go, putting COVID aside, we weren't planning on going to France anyways.
Well, maybe you weren't.
So I think that a virtual tour is actually quite a nice idea because we weren't planning on it, so why not?
Okay, it's not a virtual tour like you're thinking, like, this is me, click to advance up the steps.
Yeah, it's not like that.
No, it's more like they have literally created an online database in which they have released everything in the database for you to look at, and they are, I would call them somewhat like exact photos of the things that are in the Louvre, so you can see like,
oh, I want to walk around one. I want someone to walk me around it.
I think there might be like, it's not the entire thing, but there's a Google Maps or Google Street. I think there's something like that where you can go into certain parts of it, but this just allows you to see all of the different art that you want to look at. So, and you know what? Some of it, this might surprise you. Some of it's really cool.
Yay.
Some of it's not.
Some of it's probably boring, but that'd be exactly how it was if you were there.
Exactly.
All right.
It's really recreating the experience past the bread.
It is. If you've ever been to a museum, you love some, you hate the rest. You're like, why did I go?
And think about it like this. You know, in a lot of cases, they wouldn't have let you bring your baguette in. So this is a real improvement.
You couldn't have had your baguette. You couldn't have just kept your phone out. Like, this is a lot better.
This is, I mean, wow, right? Right. So
it is a virtual, it's the database that you can see the art at the Louvre.
Some of it, like, it's for real. Like, this is cool. So collections.louvre, and that's LOUVRE.FR. That's for France.
It is.
Just letting you know.
It is. So you can, spend some time there if you want. Is this come before you watch Godzilla versus Kong? I don't know. Like the order of it.
You know what you really need to do is you probably need to watch Live, Die, Repeat. And then you do
then
this.
You go back.
Yeah.
Now I can see this would be nice. You get some.
Because that happens at the Louvre.
You get some assorted pastries, something like that. You just sit down with some more bread and you just take a tour of the stuff.
Enjoy it. You know what? Enjoy a tour
nice.
on us.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
So, right before we went on air, Nikki was telling me how there are allegations floating around that Amazon workers working in warehouses are so overworked and they're not allowed to go to the bathroom, so they have to poop in bags.
Now, I've heard about the peeing in bottles. Not like I've heard it's real, but that's like just another thing that people have said. But I've not heard of this number 2 one.
Yeah. And so here Nikki said that I started laughing because I told her, I was like, you know what? I don't know what to believe anymore. Like, is that real? Like, is that happening? Maybe. But then the other question for me becomes like, did they have to or did they choose to? Because I got to tell you right now, are you guys familiar with the term upper decker?
You are not.
Because
some people are fine with doing that.
I know. As a guy growing up, I have seen people do things that you would be like, No, they didn't. That didn't happen. That's not real. Why would anyone do that? And, if you looked at the world one way, you would be like, look at how Burger King is oppressing this man that he had to number 2 in that urinal. And leave him. Look at how society is oppressing him. But
if you look on the other side, he was like, sweet. I get to do this.
And then I started thinking, as an Amazon employee, would you be like, hey, this is Bob, the new employee. Have you talked to him about the lower decker yet? Like, yeah, bro, look, it's kind of an initiation. Everybody has to, in a bag. But it's not real, but he thinks it is.
He thinks it is, and he does it.
They've been screwing around with him for a month. Then he calls his senator, and he's like, conditions are bad. I'm pooping in bags. And the rest of the employees are like, bro, what are you doing?
We didn't actually want you to do that.
We were just kidding.
Is that how that whole thing played out in your head?
In my mind, yeah.
That was it?
The entire thing. I'm just like, hey, Bob's been doing a lower decker for a whole month. He thought bro, if you want to go to the bathroom, you just hit this button and go to the bathroom. That's it.
But see, we don't know because we're not there. But in our mind, that's how it is.
Either one is possible. I can also see a world where Amazon's like, all right, 30 seconds for your bathroom trip. Hurry up. Nope, didn't make it back. You're fired. I don't know. You
just want more details, or do we want more details?
No. My imagination is filled in all the details I need.
Well, remember everything Obi just said, that was just purely in his mind. In case you're like, no, what I heard Amazon has you do, that's an initiation. None of that. That was just him.
Well, and I will say, let's be clear, there are allegations. But everything that I said after that, that's just me exploring the space.
Just thinking about what could really be happening there.
The Riot with Obadiah and Nikki on RadioU.
So I'm super excited. Tomorrow I'm going to get my first COVID vaccine. I've got my appointment and everything. And so they say, you know what, you get your first one. It's fine. If you're going to have a reaction, it'll probably be the second one.
It's the first one's free.
Yeah. No big deal. And then yesterday we got a text message that was...
I wondered, but I'm sure you're going to be just fine.
I got a text from an immunologist by the name of Nick. We won't go any farther than that, but he's like, hey, you should definitely get vaccinated. It helps a lot of long haulers and give you better protection against reinfection. But since you've had COVID, be prepared to feel crappy for a day or two after the first shot.
So the first one might because you had COVID.
Right.
So I haven't heard people. I'm mostly just hearing from people who've got their
second one.
Well, who've got their vaccine and never had COVID at all.
Great.
You're going to be fine tomorrow.
Tomorrow's not what I'm worried about.
It's Friday, actually.
It's
Friday. I've thought of that. It is Friday. But don't worry, you're going to be fine. You're going to be just fine.
Guys, for real? I'm trying. When I just feel like I want to talk to whoever runs life and just be like, I'm trying. Could you just cut me some slack? I was finally able to get an appointment. Could you not
cause any problems?
Have it be like I'm dying or something? Could I just get it and be like, I don't know, my arm's a little sore, but I feel great.
That's what most people say, that their arm is sore, and that's about it.
Yeah. Then I look at this guy right here. His skin peeled off of his legs.
Is that the first or second?
He got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, so
that's only the one.
Yeah, it only took one. So congratulations to him. Oh, gosh.
Don't look at the pictures.
I am.
Don't look at it. You don't know what shot you're getting till tomorrow, though, right?
Don't even know.
Don't know till then.
When I signed up, they were just like, you'll get what you get and you won't throw a fit.
You find out when you get there.
No, it is. It's like, hey, whatever they have when you get there is what you get. So it's like, I'm here for the COVID shot. Well, we got mumps. So there you go.
I bet you're going to be fine. It is all the anxiety going into it.
I'm actually not that nervous. I just wanted to talk about it. I wanted to explore my feelings.
You want to talk about your feelings?
I did.
You're just worried for Friday?
Yeah.
And then Obi's on vacation next week, so don't you dare leave a day early. Meaning, don't you dare take Friday off.
No. The only thing I can say is that, I'm coming in Friday, but I might be coming in hot.
Just keep you over there.
You know what I'm saying?
Just stay over there. I guess we'll see what happens, but tomorrow you'll have to let us know.
I show up at the hospital. I'm like, I'm here for my vaccine. Well, here, take this bag and go in this room. Nuh-uh. I listened to the riot. I know what you guys are trying. And there's not going to be, I'm not lower decking nothing.
You're going to be fine. You're going to be just fine. And you'll be fine on Friday. And you'll be fine through the weekends.
I feel great.
Okay.
Don't you feel good?
Well, I'm a little nervous, just to be honest, but I know you're going to be just fine.
I felt good until I got that text message.
Well, I didn't know if I should send it to you because I wasn't sure. I thought, but he seemed like a very nice guy, and he said he'd be just fine.
I tried to reschedule, and the appointment, I couldn't.
No, it's just it's already taken.
Yeah, so I'm just going to show up. Whatever they have, they're going to jam it into me. I'm really looking forward to it.
Guess what you can get afterwards? You haven't thought about that. Every time you get a shot at the doctor, Obi gets a donut. It's just it's a coping thing.
Every time Obadiah gets a shot, a donut goes in his belly.
It gets its wings. So yeah, you just plan on getting a donut tomorrow.
Okay, I feel better already. I mean, I might see the donut again, but I feel better
already. And if your arm hurts, just get an extra one and just rub it. With the icing and the glaze and rub it right over your arm.
Why is there chocolate all over your Band-Aid? You know what? It's none of your business. Why are you looking at my arm?
Why do you care?
My eyes are up here.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Let's talk about birthdays.
Yay! Anybody's birthday?
Okay, I got big news for you. This is amazing.
If you want to celebrate this way.
Did you know that Post, that's the cereal company, is going to be celebrating their 50th year of Pebbles cereal?
So is that Fruity Pebbles or just Pebbles cereal?
Don't they have Fruity Pebbles and then there was Cocoa Pebbles?
So kind of like the start of that cereal line.
Yeah, so I don't know if the Cocoa or the Fruity came first. Not really sure. But it's been 50 years, which means, what's that, 1971 when that hit?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
Okay.
So they're celebrating with a special edition of Pebbles, birthday cake edition. Seems like birthday cake is a popular trend to have everything come out that way. So the cereal will be pink, blue, yellow, and it'll have a vanilla cake flavor. This will be a limited edition run, and birthday cake Pebbles will be nationwide throughout next month. So in April in all grocery stores.
That'll do, pig.
It looks so good.
It does. Well, birthday cake flavor stuff usually is pretty good.
Yeah, that'll work. I'm sure that tastes just fine.
Were you ever a Pebbles eater?
No, but I do like the birthday cake flavors. We still have a big box of the Funfetti cereal to try. So if we can get this one, we can do a whole
cereal blowout.
Cereal blowout with all the Funfetti and birthday cake that we want.
I like the sound of that.
That could be a good morning.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this birthday cake Pebbles, April?
April.
Nationwide.
Nationwide and pretty much any grocery store. It's not limited to just one.
Okay. Well, you can't eat just one.
Good one. Okay, now that sounds like real congestion.
Well, it's a little bit of both.
It's just something.
Yeah.
So that's coming up. If anybody sees it, let us know. We'll give it a try, too, for a food fight or an after show.
The only concern I have is that if it's made by Post, that's the brand that's not afraid to put sugar as the first ingredient. So
I can feel like that's probably the case on this.
We might have a hard time stopping once we get started.
That was all I had growing up with my mom of the rule of, like, she said if sugar was the first ingredient, we couldn't get it. But if it was like the second or third, it was fine. It just couldn't be the first one.
I think my mom just went straight to Pop-Tarts.
So she was fine with anything?
It's like, here.
Giving every novelty food the publicity it so blatantly desires. It's The Riot on RadioU.
So, Nikki, how many times would you say that you've seen Avengers Endgame?
I have not seen Avengers Endgame. I'm sorry, everybody. I know. I've not seen that one. I know. Maybe if you count like on Facebook or all the like clips that they show, like just as the videos, maybe you can say I saw most of it, but not officially. I've never seen the movie. So
Oh, all right. Well, did you guys know this?
Did everybody?
Have you guys been, don't you feel lied to? Like just a little?
I think the last one I saw from Marvel would be Thor Ragnarok. That was about it.
All right. Well, at least you weren't like, was Wonder Woman?
No. Nope.
No. Okay. All right. Because you bought that, but you didn't watch it.
No, I've watched that since.
I think you're making it up.
I promise. I watched, and I told you it was a little dated looking by the time I got around to it.
Like when it was released?
No, it was a little later than that.
Yeah. All right. So, hey, there is a guy. His name is Ramiro Alanis. He's from Florida, and he officially has broken the Guinness World Record for the most cinema productions attended same film.
Really?
He saw Avengers Endgame in theaters 191 times in 94 days.
Wow. Why? How that's dedication there. That is. So you paid every time to go see that movie?
Well, it doesn't say that.
Well, I didn't know if you sometimes people stay in the theater.
Yeah.
Until another one keeps playing.
I don't know.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, does he just love it so much, or he just started and he thought he'd try to get the record for it?
Okay. Well, here we go. The most difficult part about this attempt was giving up my social life with my family, the gym. I lost 16 pounds of muscle, he says. He's a personal trainer. So,
I thought he would have said he would have gained weight.
And managing my work hours and screening times at theaters. The support I got from family, friends, managers, and staff from the theaters I visited, as well as the support from followers on social media, were key motivators. And so he did this very intentionally. He set out to break the world record. And let's see, it says that he was inspired to see it nearly 200 times by the Guinness Record's former holder, who was YouTuber Nem Raps, who won by seeing Avengers Infinity War so many times.
So he saw it almost 200 times in 90-something days?
Yeah.
Was that during last year when even theaters were they open the whole time? Or how did he manage that?
No, didn't Endgame came out?
I guess it would have been.
Would that have been 19?
I thought for a minute it was just one of the movies that stayed in theaters last year, they brought it back.
Totally could have been.
Because there was nothing new, so that you showed a lot of older movies.
So Endgame's theatrical release in the U.S. was April 26, 2019.
Wow, so long.
Yeah, boy, we've only lived a decade since then, right?
Well, congratulations to the guy. Does he want to do that for any other movies or just that?
No, that was just his goal. Nikki, now he's got to get back into the gym.
Oh, yeah, he's got to get back, right?
He does. He's got to get that weight on.
So he lost 16 pounds of muscle?
Muscle. So get to it, brother. We're all disappointed in you.
I already don't understand him, because if we would have spent 90-something days in the movie theater, we would have gained.
I would have gained weight, yeah.
Gained way more weight than that.
Well, he wasn't in there eating his feelings like we would have been.
He must have really been someone. Well, you said he's a physical trainer. He must have really worked out before.
He's like a real person.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot Podcast.
I think it's another year where we're going to go well, it's different this year, but, Easter is coming up, and I hope you have some good Easter plans. Mine involves so far, a little carton of Reese's eggs, which I haven't acquired yet. I almost feel like I better go to a store, because you guys, what are all the stories we keep telling you? It's not available.
What if they were all on the boat that got stuck?
It's in there.
And you're not getting anything. They melted. They're all gone.
You know what? I would totally buy into it. I'm going to end up in a grocery store in a candy aisle, getting hit in the head with an umbrella by some lady who feels like I was skipping the line.
That's right. Fighting you for the very last carton of the Reese eggs.
Yeah. You know what, though? That kind of stuff's real. I mean, one time I was at a grocery store. I don't go in very often. I'm just shop online, throw it in the back of my car. I'm not going in, but I made the mistake of going in, and I'm there and I'm getting some stuff, and I was I'll just go to self-checkout. So I go and get in line, and then I'll never forget this. This lady came up, kind of shoved me aside and got in front of me. He was the line is back there. I can't. And then she just started swearing and I can't believe people. Oh, yeah.
Aww.
True story. What I didn't realize is there was a break in the line because there was an aisle there. And so I needed to go to the back. Now, if somebody had just said to me hey man, the line's back here, I would have just gone, oh.
Easy mistake.
My bad.
I'm going back there.
I'm new here.
I normally don't go in.
I don't belong inside stores.
Because of this situation. But let me hear you out. Where am I supposed to go?
Wow.
That says she's screaming at you?
Oh, yeah. And it was one of those moments where everybody looked around just like, oh, she's losing it.
You were the last straw right there.
I was. And I wasn't trying to be a problem.
It just happens.
It just happened. So what I'm afraid of is this is the same store. I go in there to get my eggs and all of a sudden, I'm being assaulted because what I didn't know is there was an egg line. And I somehow skipped the egg line.
I want you to go in saying I'm just here to pick up some eggs. And then people think that you're there for eggs. Like,
just there for eggs.
Real breakfast eggs, not chocolate peanut butter ones.
Well.
Then you come to the front and they're like, I thought you're getting eggs, sir.
I
did.
What are these?
Easter eggs.
You didn't say.
Well, can't you just pick them up then? Can't you just order it and go drive?
How big does that order have to be for them to throw it in your car?
Depends on each place. So a lot of times it's like a $30, $35, and you could totally get that many eggs.
Listen, no. I got to draw a line. We can't have $35 worth of Easter candy. I'm all alone this weekend.
Can you? I think you can. What about some soda with it? Maybe some bread? We talked about getting a...
All right, Nikki, listen, you ready? You ready to go all the way in? Here we go.
Yeah, let's go.
So I'm wearing these jeans right now.
Yeah.
I bought some jeans online, same brand, same measurements.
Yeah. Oh, like your normal size, you mean?
They don't fit. And I think it's just because these jeans have been growing with me through the pandemic.
Your others stretched out.
Yeah. And so what I'm trying to tell you is I don't think
that
I'm in a place right now to get as much candy as I want.
Well, you're saying that now, but it is a holiday weekend. Why don't you start it on Monday?
Okay.
Whatever you want to do, start on Monday. So if you want to get $35 worth of Easter candy, today you can, okay?
Right.
And you can totally eat that through Sunday. And then Monday, even though I know you're on vacation next week, and vacation's not actually the best time to start something.
Right.
What about early May? How does early May look?
I've been thinking about it, and I'm just like, dude, you have to hold on because you're in a position to gain even more weight, and it can't happen.
But that would be new weight for the year. Everything else was last year. This is 2021 weight.
Oh, man. It's bad.
You got time. You're fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
You're listening to The Riot. Let's all work together today to live life with the patience of a Nikki dealing with an Obadiah.
Gotta hang in there and get through it.
You're listening to The Riot.
Nikki, how much would you pay for a pair of headphones, right? What's the most, keeping in mind that Nikki and I have problems?
Are we talking AirPods? Or
Doesn't
are we talking
matter.
just
I'm talking
corded?
top end. What's the most you paid?
$150 on sale. So
Okay.
that'd be my AirPods, like the Pro ones.
Yeah, I don't think I've paid more than $150 for
That's
a pair
about
of
it.
headphones. I actually think I maybe haven't paid. I think I paid $120 for my wireless earbuds, and they were on sale. That was a Black Friday deal. Most of the time, it's roughly in the $100 range because I bought a pair of the PlayStation 5. I don't know. They have some special stupid name, but
Let's just say special. Why'd you have to put stupid in there?
You're right.
What did they do?
They're
just there being headphones, all right?
Pulse, that's what they were called.
Okay.
You know what? I'll have to say, though, probably the most comfortable pair of headphones I own.
Sure.
I don't know what that headband thing is they've figured out, but it's really weirdly comfortable.
It's athleisure headwear.
Something.
The headphones are even more comfortable.
Well,
but yeah, that's around the price. I mean, headphones can get very expensive, but then they can also be very, very cheap. But those just tend to not last as long.
Well, they have, the special PlayStation headphones, and there are different brands. Like those actually came from Sony. And when it comes to the Xbox, they have actually teamed up with a couple of third-party vendors to make headphones. So they're not
love
official.
Their name.
They're not official. Well, they are, but they're licensed.
No, I got
Do you know what I mean? They're not coming from Microsoft, but Bang & Olufsen.
I love Olufsen.
Really?
Perfect.
They have come up with a pair of headphones for the Xbox.
So it's just B&O.
Yeah. B-O?
No, B&O.
Okay. All right.
They're not stinky headphones.
So these headphones are $499.
They look nice though. They have a really good look. It looks just like the Apple ones. The
Apple Mega Pods.
The $500 one, headphones. It looks just like those.
Actually, yeah, they do sell them in like a whitish color, and they do kind of have that look, don't they?
With headphones, there's only so much you can do for the look, so they always end up looking like each other.
The human head is the real limitation.
Yeah. So they cost the same as an Xbox Series X.
That's just crazy.
To, compare the two.
That is crazy. You can have an Xbox or you can have the headphones. Which one do you want?
Well, maybe will you be able to get the headphones if you can't even get the Xbox? You don't even have to worry about it.
No, that's what it feels. It feels like you'd be able to get the headphones, but not the Xbox. That feels right. But then again, I bought some PlayStation Pulse headphones, and you know what? I still don't think you can just go in and buy those headphones. Let's see what Best Buy says.
They last up to 12 hours per charge when you use Bluetooth or the Xbox wireless protocol that they have. They can go up to 24 hours at that point.
How long did they say?
12 hours per charge and up to 24 hours if you're using Bluetooth and ANC.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah. They'll
come in gray and navy, and they'll be out on April 29th.
Okay. Well, I was wrong. The PlayStation headphones you can now go in and buy. But I will tell you, when I bought mine back in January, some of you guys were like, hey, they have them here. I saw them over here. And so, you're out there collecting clues, talking to people, interviewing suspects. And then eventually I bought a pair.
So these are the B&O Xbox headsets, the headphones, but man, they're what they call luxury. So at $500, they're expensive.
Oh, Nikki, what's $500 headphones between friends?
I'm not friends with them.
This is the worst of the riot on RadioU.
I wish there was, I could just download this to you. Like I could, we could pair our phones or maybe we could just touch the backs and like, bing, there it is. You got it. Or I could airdrop a file to you. I could just give it to you. Here's the reality of it is that you are loved. Like, seriously, God loves you. And that, when I say that, it feels so cliche and you're just like, whatever.
But boy, that'd be a nice reminder throughout all the day.
Wouldn't it be nice to know that? Think about this. You're loved and you're accepted. And I think a lot of times, you don't have kids, so it's hard to know how do parents love kids. But think about your little brother or, your cousin or whatever, and how they're just cute and fun and you love them. And what's really weird is, have you ever noticed how you love them and it's not because they bought you something? It's not because whatever. It just comes out. You just love them. And that's it. Well, that's how God loves us. He just loves us. And you're like, well, I've made a lot of mistakes. Yep. Well, I'm not whatever. Yep. Well, I got some real problems. Yep. God still loves you. He just does. And I mean, do you and God have some things to talk about, some things to work out? I don't know, maybe, but I know this. I know you're loved. I know that for sure. And I know that him loving you, a lot of it has to do with just who he is. He's just like, man, I just love you. That's it. So look, I get it. We could make it really complicated and really get off in the weeds. But, the reality of it is that God loves you no matter what. Jesus wants to be a part of your life. And it's not like he's this pathetic friend. Like, you're so awesome and God's just in the corner like, man, I got nothing. It's not like that either. It is your great privilege to go and be loved by God. So, it's up to you. You can do life on your own if you want. I mean, it really is your choice, but you don't have to. And wouldn't it be great to have somebody who loves you? Wouldn't it be great? And the thing is, you can love each other. And life gets better by having God around. I don't know. Like I said, I wish I could just airdrop it to you so you could get it. But you're going to have to experience it for yourself. If you've never started a relationship with God, you could start by just saying, God, if you really love me, help me get it. Help me understand that what your love's about. Come into my life. Fill me with your spirit. I want to know, Jesus, what you're about. Show me. And that's just a good place to start. But I want you to know, whether that's the first time you've said that or you're like, man, I need to get back in line with what God's got going on. You're loved. No matter what you've done or whatever, you're loved.
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here. Obviously, this is The Riot on RadioU.
So, Nikki, have you ever bought a Cameo before?
I've not, but is that the one where you can take an actor or a celebrity and then they'll record a message for you, like for someone's birthday or just whatever you want, and then you pay money for it?
It's absolutely that. So the last time I saw somebody use one, I was at a wedding, and it was I honestly just can't remember.
The person that they
what
used?
It was, but it was somebody that the bride just loved.
Aww.
And so the husband had bought, a Cameo.
I've
from
seen,
him, so.
like, we've seen the site before, and it doesn't seem like it's too much money. Like, I know there's levels of celebrity where some can ask for more money, but it didn't seem too overpriced.
So they say that the top amount that people get for it, $2,500.
Oh, per Cameo?
Yep,
wow, who's getting that?
I actually don't know who is the top person, but they say its top is $2,500. Let's see, Brett Favre, $450.
See, that to me feels, I don't know, not the worst. I guess I thought you could have told me more for him.
Right, Snoop Dogg, $900.
I think that could be less.
I do feel like that's a bit much for Snoop.
That's all right, though.
But, if you just go like Lindsay Lohan, $375. Ice-T, $450. I would love to talk to Ice-T.
But you're not talking to him.
I know.
They're
You just get a recording.
But you can tell them what you kind of want in the recording.
Nikki?
Yeah?
Mama June!
Oh, the one lady? What was it? The TLC thing or the...
But Honey Boo Boo's mom.
Oh, no, I don't want that.
You know what we should do? We should totally do this.
How much is that one?
$65, $60.
That seems reasonable. So you can just... Oh, another top earner would be Chuck Norris. He makes a lot of money from it.
Nikki, we should we should get how we have the band drops where it's like, this is, David Zock from Remedy Drive, and you're listening to The Riot.
Oh, we should pay all the actors and stuff.
For $60, we could have, this is Mama June.
I don't know. Let's see if there's anybody else we like.
So worth it. Now, the reason we're talking about it is they have just got an extra $100 million in capital, they say, to work on some stuff. And that means that Cameo, which started out as this tiny little thing, is now valued at over $1 billion.
They're saying that for actors and musicians last year during COVID, they themselves were at home and not able to do work, not able to film or go tour and stuff. So that's where they were using Cameo to make extra money to kind of fill in for that. And so Cameo just became a lot bigger because more celebrities were willing to use it as an extra source of income. As
I said, I've seen several people do it and they love it. Like people get so excited about it when they get them. I'm always like, you had to pay them to say hi to me? I don't want it.
Oh, it'd be fine.
But I in the moment, no, I actually think it's really cool. So
Jocelyn just asked about Pierce Brosnan. I'm not sure if he's on there because her mother would love that. But it's just Cameo. That's just the website you go to. Okay. Well, I guess that begs the question. And text us 877-2-RADIO-U. To me, I feel like Pierce Brosnan would not do this. I don't know if it's the type of site he would do. Is he on there?
He's not.
Yeah, he's not on there.
Rachel Brosnahan is.
But not Pierce.
Not exactly. And Michael Pierce is. Mm-hmm. So, listen, if there's somebody that you could have send you a message, obviously they have to still be alive.
Yeah.
Who would it be? Well, wait, hang on. That's
the question.
I want you to think about it, Nikki. And then I want you guys to think about it. 877-2-RADIO-U. Text it. And then I'd like to know...
How much would you pay?
How much
would you pay for that message?
Would you be willing to pay for that message? Now, my first reaction is I can't think of anybody. Give me a minute.
I bet you can come up with someone.
Let me think of somebody I'd like to hear from.
What you're about to hear will live on the internet forever. Sorry, internet. The worst of the Riot podcast.
So the Cameo app is in the news because... Cameo has just been valued at over $1 billion.
That's a lot of money, but it's done so well during, COVID times. More celebrities. Now that term, when you see who's on there, it's different, varying levels of celebrity. But they just said that so many people, celebrity-wise, turned to it to make extra money when they could not do touring or their own shows and stuff. And that led to a lot more people buying into getting a cameo.
So, Nikki, what we have here, I asked everybody, like, what would you do? Who would you get on Cameo? And many of you responded. Dustin said that he got Chris Harrison to assist with his proposal because his fiance is a fan of The Bachelor.
That's cute. Oh, and they're getting married on June 25th. Yay.
So she said yes.
Very cool. That's a great idea.
But Dustin, will you spend your whole life wondering if she said yes to you?
Or to Chris.
Or to Chris.
I think it's probably him.
Yeah. Rachel says Jennifer Garner, who I looked, she's not on Cameo.
Oh, yeah. She seems nice, though.
Let's see. Jocelyn, well, she was the one that wanted Pierce Brosnan. Chad says Kevin Conway, he's the voice of Batman in the Batman animated movies, or Peter Walker as Optimus Prime. He says he would pay $500.
Oh, for that? That's a good amount of money there.
Wow. Let's see. Nicole says she was excited to get voicemail from the Riot, so it was the same thing.
We called some listeners around Valentine's. You guys were so sweet. You liked hearing from us. We don't charge for that.
Yeah.
Ours is free.
Josh says Jim Bob Duggar, and he's totally serious.
Okay.
Is that like the dad?
I think so.
Okay. Aaron Obi, what about someone from Star Trek, Captain Picard? Nikki, what about Colin Firth?
Colin Firth, I feel like, would not do cameos.
It's too cool.
It's just not. I feel like there's certain actors who make enough money from like royalties and stuff, or like going back to the Pierce Brosnan sort of style. Like, I don't think they need to do it, so they don't understand how fun it is to do.
Sure. Jason, who's the last one on my list here, he stole mine actually. James Earl Jones.
Oh, you'd want that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's got such a killer voice, dude. Such a killer voice. So that, yeah. Oh, you know what? Do you know who I think I actually, like, legit, I think I would actually take? Joel Hodgson, the guy from Mystery Science Theater.
Oh, does he do them?
He does not, but I really like that guy. That would be one of those things where I would really enjoy that. Like, I don't care if Captain Kirk says hi to me. I don't know, whatever. But like him, that'd be awesome.
You would want that.
Yep, I would take that. Now, Nick, did you come up with somebody, Nikki?
I thought, and I don't think any of these guys are on there, but I think maybe Simon Pegg.
Yeah,
I
that's
really
a good
love
one.
Simon Pegg.
That's a good one.
Of course, I like Colin Firth, but I also like Keanu Reeves, and I like Henry Cavill. So maybe any of those.
Oh yeah, Henry Cavill. Let's see.
He's not on there. He's not.
Henry Blofeld is.
Keanu Reeves is not on there as well. Simon Pegg's not on there as well. They're not.
Well, you know what? That's one of those things. Like if Keanu Reeves was on here,
his would be like for charity that he's raising, and it's one auction call, and that's all you get.
Right. And I mean, that's one of those things where you would have to set the amount. It wouldn't be about making money. You'd have to set the amount high enough to be like a gatekeeper,
sure.
Like to keep people out, because you couldn't manage to do all the ones that people wanted, even at like $200 or $300. So, all right. So you're saying it would be Keanu Reeves. I'm going with Joel Hodgson from Mystery Science Theater. He feels like
practically
a cameo.
The same as Keanu.
He feels like the level of celebrity I'd see on Cameo, though.
It seems like maybe that's more fun to where they'd offer it through their own website.
That's probably
true. But not through that. So yeah, Cameo is valued now at over $1 billion.
The Riot. Radio U.
Look, I'm sorry. I can't let this go. We have to tell everybody.
What?
We have to tell everybody.
What do we have to tell?
We found Ken Bone on Cameo.
I didn't even remember who that person was.
I know. Ken Bone was the guy. I don't even remember what year it was, but like he was at a town hall debate. And he was the guy in the red sweater. Okay, it was the 2016 town hall debate. I just remember him being like a meme for a hot minute.
Yeah.
And he's on Cameo.
He says he's a TV personality at this point.
Sure he is.
Within 24 hours, you get that.
That's right. And he'll even wear the red sweater.
So that's only $25. That feels about right. I couldn't remember him, but now that I see him, I remember it.
Okay, Nikki, we'll take a look at it closer. He has 445 reviews, which means that he's probably had, let's just call it 400 bookings at $25 a piece. He's doing okay for himself on old Cameo.
Well, I actually would put him at probably more because who leaves a review? Such a small percentage of people.
$25 each.
Well, get in on that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People are just dying to get their Obadiah video greeting.
It doesn't work for us because you hear us every day, guys.
Yeah, we're not like...
Okay, like you overhear us. You're like, please.
Hey, I'll give you guys $25 not to do the riot tomorrow.
Oh,
make it 50 or 100 and maybe you're on.
And leave us a good review.
You make sure, I paid $100 and Obadiah didn't talk to me all morning.
This is perfect.
Never been this happy.
All right, well, let's close out the site,
done.
okay? We don't need to look anymore.
Fine, but I'm just telling you, if you're bored, you could spend all day looking at Cameo. All day.
Not hiring anybody, but just looking at all the people.
Just scrolling and, of course, having the discussion, I'm not paying that much, or, oh, that's not that bad.
Or who's that? Or now I remember them.
I'm closing it out. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Close it out.
Nope, no more scrolling. Stop.
Nope,
I have to stop now. I'm stopping.
I can't see your screen, but I'm going to trust that you're not lying and you closed it out.
Trust that I'm not lying. No comment.
You thought they were bad live? Well, just wait until you hear this. The Worst of the Riot podcast with Obadiah and Nikki.
So, Nikki, they just announced that Snowpiercer is getting a third season.
See, I liked the Snowpiercer movie, but it's been a while, and I never watched the first two seasons of is it TNT?
It is. You know what? It's on HBO Max.
Is it?
It is.
I didn't even know TNT was still a thing itself, let alone having shows on it.
I don't know.
But I always mean to think like, oh, maybe it'd be interesting to watch it, but I don't think it's as good as the movie. I haven't heard people say...
Well, that's not what it takes to stay on TV.
As long as people talk about it.
Right. Which
is why they talk about the TV show, because you're like, oh, yeah, that was a movie.
I keep saying that I'm going to watch it, and I finally, since I've got HBO, because Godzilla and Justice League, and so I don't know, like last week or something, I noticed Snowpiercer was on there, and I was like, oh, cool, I'll watch an episode of this. And I think I spent maybe 10 minutes watching it, and I was just like...
Was that enough?
You know what it comes down to for me? It's not that the show could be perfectly fine. It just felt like way too much work to get into it. Like, I got to figure out who these people are. Why are they doing what they do? Well, they're going to drop names. I'm going to have to remember faces to go with those names. And
okay, that sounds like real life. So
I know.
But that's only because I think you know that there's two seasons. If you just go back and, you'd have to... Do you feel more pressure because there are so many episodes?
Maybe. It was just this thing where I was like, I don't want to get to know all these people. It's too much work. Well, I'm not going to.
Okay.
But I'm just telling you, that's why when I read that there's a season 3, it comes back to, I don't know if anybody else deals with this cycle of guilt, but you're like, oh, it's good and I like science fiction, I should watch it. You say, okay, I will. So you put it in your queue. Then you keep skipping past it in your queue, feeling that queue guilt for a while. Then eventually you start it up and you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't stand all these. And then you stop it. But then you leave it in there because you're like, no.
You'll get to it one day.
One day I'm going to come back to it, I swear. And then the cycle starts all over again.
How do you watch anything with that mentality? How can you get through anything?
This is how I spend 90 minutes on Netflix, not having seen anything, and then just go to bed.
But remember, when there's bigger things like the Justice League or like Godzilla versus Kong, that gets automatically put right in the front. So there's no guilt about that. That you're going to watch. This stuff you're not going to watch.
I mean, Justice League, it took me a couple of days, but I got it down. It'd be the same with Godzilla. But Snowpiercer, we're coming up on a couple years, but we got time. No big deal. Just
reading a bit about it, but all right. Well, thank you for the update.
Yeah. So, Nikki, maybe you should watch it.
Nah. I mean, again, did you ever watch the movie? I don't think you did you? You'd be better off to just try to get that, like to get through that and just forget the series.
It does seem a little more reasonable. A running time somewhere between 90 minutes and 2 hours. Just wrap it up.
You like watching movies, from back in the day. That's good.
That is, what's that, like 7 or 8 years old?
I feel like it's older, but maybe I'm wrong.
I want to say I'm just convinced it's 2014. Why do I have that number in my head? Let's find out.
When you win?
You know what? 2013 in theaters, 2014 home video.
We'll take it then.
All right.
You were right.
Close enough. It's got Captain America in it.
The Riot. Not everyone's a fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
RadioU.
Bees!
Don't like them.
We'll see who can make more honey.
But with bees, you're supposed to try to protect them if you can.
Right, because if we keep killing the bees, then the whole planet goes up. And there was that one movie about it. So
you didn't know that's what's holding everything together.
Bees are the honey from the bees is the glue.
It is. It's sticking and keeping everything together, and we can't lose all that.
And you're like, no, it's not. Yeah, it is.
Well, you are supposed to, like, if you find a hive and stuff, like, you're not just supposed to swat at them and kill them. You're supposed to try to relocate them.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what happened in New Mexico at the Albertsons.
It's a grocery store.
It is. Sunday afternoon, guy comes out to his car and drives away and then realizes that his car is full of bees. How did he not
notice?
know?
If you look at the picture, you can see he got in around 4 o'clock. He had his car at the grocery store and he was in for a while. Then he came back out, and during the time he had his windows down. And when the windows were down, a swarm of bees came.
A swarm of bees. They say that his car had 15,000 bees in it.
And it wasn't like on the outside, like they were in the car because the window was down.
How do you fit 15,000 bees? To me, the car's not big enough to hold 15,000 bees.
But we just have no perception of that. We're not into bees. We don't understand.
It's true. You're right.
It's our bad. It's not their bad.
Big bees paid for all this.
Well, firefighters had to respond because of the swarm of bees. When he returned with his groceries, he went to go start, and they were mostly in the back of the car. They said that the noise, though, was just like amazing to hear from so many of them. No one got stung except for a security guard from the grocery store, and he got stung one time. Everybody else was good. They were able to remove the 15,000 bees.
Yeah, so did you say this already, that a firefighter from the area is a beekeeper? Mm-hmm. So he came in with all the equipment, removed the bees, and he took them out to his property, and they live there now.
So he had a hive kit and lemongrass oil, and that's what he lured the estimated 15,000 bees out of the vehicle. And I don't know, did he walk them home or get them into his car?
It looks like
he
just
put them
based
in the
on
bee things.
Yeah, on the photo, he put them in those bee boxes, and it looks like he just loaded them into the back of a car or something and took them home.
When I drive home, someone has a bunch of those in their yard, and they always have rocks on top of them to
make sure the bees don't get out.
Keep the bees in.
But then you got to let them out some because they got to get the stuff for the honey.
I don't know. Do you, or do you just move them and you take them for a walk or a fly?
They do some very interesting things with bees, including, I know somebody, I'm not making it up. They did their master's work in using bees to detect bombs.
Really? Okay.
I kid you not. And it was fascinating. The things that the bees could detect and the way they would react when detecting something and all this. It's wild.
Yeah, I still don't like them, and I don't want 15,000 of them.
Well, me either.
But it is true. You can find, the queen bee, and you just move her, and then the rest all just follow.
Man, it's just like aliens,
very weird.
Right?
I know you're probably not supposed to go in anxious when you're trying to remove bees, but I would be super nervous.
I don't know. I remember when I was a kid, the whole thing was we had at our school, it was next to a field, and I don't know, something, whatever, but all these beekeepers came out, and we were allowed to walk out and see the bees, and they basically said, if you just walk out here slowly, they will not sting you.
They won't bother you?
Yeah. Just don't swat at them, don't whatever, just walk out, you can check it out and go back.
Well, I still don't want to have the bee car.
No, me either.
It's why did they like your car? So 15,000 bees. What about your car was so attractive?
What drew them into you?
To this swarm of bees. But now they're safe, and they're on the farm of this guy's place, and they can be bees there.
The only thing I would say is that maybe, now I'm not saying anything, whatever, but I feel like after the bees, I probably need a bath. It's I'd be afraid that my BO attracted the bees.
Oh, you mean the guy who, could be.
For all we know, he's the most well-groomed man in New Mexico, but.
I don't know, maybe he I eat honey biscuits every morning, and he throws the bag in the back. He just doesn't realize.
Totally could be.
He made the perfect bee thing. So they got in. They're wow, it's our new home. They were just confused.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no, I missed it. Do it again.
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
We try to give him other food, but all he eats is mashed up French fries with sweet and sour sauce.